Play stronger, not faster, resign like a grandmaster. Hello everyone, I'm Fabian, and this is the 13th episode of my YouTube series, Resign Like a Grandmaster. It is a series about atomic chess, and atomic chess is a variant of chess which has some interesting rules, like the explosion rule, and that's the main rule. And this episode will still be about the ongoing Atomic 960 tournament. I actually tried to stream the recent match, which was tipau versus RoyalManiac. Tipau was, one of the Atomic legends, and RoyalManiac is actually one of the Racing Kings legends and current Racing Kings champion. Racing Kings is another variant of chess, and it has different starting positions. So if you can call that a variant of chess. I actually recorded the first half, but my computer somehow my recording doesn't work again. So let's hope it works this time when I will be streaming GrandLapin versus Kryfyre. GrandLapin, I think, is one of the top players, and he's also I think he actually got to the finals in the recent AWC, just lost to Arca. So because Arca is too strong, and Kryfyre is titled player, and he's also pretty good at atomic chess. And tipau versus RoyalManiac. That match, GrandLapin's match is going to start in like 10 minutes, so I have time to review the game. During the game, this is game 1. This position looks pretty normal, and something like knight to f3. The normal defense is of course f6, but in this particular position you can play g5, defending all squares that the knight can go to. And g5 is not that dangerous in this position because queen h5 won't happen. And it threatens bishop takes b2, so c3 is played. And after that, just invade with the knight, forcing the trade, and develop in the center, which is normal. This is like a normal position. And during the game, I was saying that b4 looks very dangerous, since something like bishop or queen on a4 might happen, but a4 is always possible. And here I say the idea is of course bishop to a3, but he has another idea which we'll be seeing next move. Bishop a3 is of course an idea, and you need to defend against that. And black defended against that, like e4. If bishop to a3, then knight to d6. But then b6, because the queen is open up, so this threat is made. So takes this pawn must be taken, otherwise either mate or b takes a7, winning the queen. And so if it's taken, then just even better than queen takes b7 is queen to b5. Queen takes b7 obviously wins, but queen to b5 is just mate next move, and you can't defend against that. So this was game 1, and game 2 was a similar position. Like I didn't even notice the castling moves. For example, it's very confusing. In some castling position, the opening is very normal, just third rank defense, and it's just one move threat and defend against that threat. And I said that c4 was very tricky. And it after opening up the bishop, you can't even defend against it, and you can defend against it, but well, you lose a knight. So the idea is probably was queen to d3, but then you block with the bishop, so not sure about that. D4 was played. Even if this looks pretty bad for white, it's not that bad. Well, losing a knight for a pawn, not that bad. But queen to e5. Well, if you take, then bishop takes b2, of course. If you don't take, then the queen will invade, and you will be in trouble. And like queen to a5, queen to a4, and this way, and you will be in a lot of trouble. So the queen pings the queen to the e7 pawn, and black wins the pawn, and still threatens bishop takes b2, and so you have to somehow move the pieces out. But after the bishop invasion, there are nothing you can do, and you're going to get mated, and RoyalManiac flagged because, well, this position is lost just in the next few moves. And for the third game, well, why is that good? Because it defends against all the knight moves. So like the queen invasions and defense, knight invasions, probably that doesn't feel good, because during the game I said that you might get into trouble after something, but this does ping the d3 knight, but but this bishop was overworked, and you defend against, you can't defend against that. Black found this move, which is probably the best move. Why? Because, well, now black has a threat, like like the knight is going to f4 or somewhere, and like if you move the knight, then knight to f4, and then you will get into trouble, because this knight on d3 can't move. And so probably this is the best move, winning a pawn. Pawn is a pawn. And after that, well, here f takes e5 is obviously looks very promising, since the queen is open up on this diagonal. But it looks dangerous because of that move. But castles. In Atomic 960, you always forget about castles. So if there are no castles, then you're going to get mated, like there, like queen to h4, then g3, queen to h3, and but you have castles, and now and now black is of course losing, since black can't stop the queen invasion, and here the king is pretty safe here. So castling is of course legal, since white is not in check, and the piece is the king. And so castle queen side, whenever you castle with the rook next to the a file, you can castle queen side. But on this website there are some bugs, you know. But luckily for tipau, this bug didn't happen. If this bug happens, probably tipau will just lose. But so, and that bug happened in the next game, but RoyalManiac and the same thing. If there are nothing, then black can't defend against that, but black can defend by castling. But it doesn't matter. The thing is, well, you can defend because, well, e6 is covered by the bishop, but you just win another pawn, and it's obviously winning for white, and you have nothing to do. So for the fourth game, the opening is very normal, like this knight moves, this bishop covers, this knight moves, this bishop covers. This is pretty not that good for white. This opening position since the bishops are covering everything. And so those pieces are traded, and this looks like a normal position, and everything looks pretty normal. And there are, however, in like those positions, there might be some trouble like along this file, like on Discord they think about b5 and queen to a3, like but knight can develop to to d6, so probably it's okay. And black has some invasions like along this file, but currently it's probably still okay. But here, what is that move? I didn't even think of that move. When this happens, actually, I think white has a lot of time and black has almost no time. And actually, white was thinking of castling here. Castling is of course legal because it's legal, but white can't castle. This is just some random bug. Like sometimes, well, those bugs just kills you, and this is of course nothing, and then you can mate it. So well, castling is probably best, but probably tipau won't get flagged even if white castles, because this position is probably good for black because black has the open file and well, white has nothing. So black can probably move like something f4, something nice somewhere, and it's probably still winning for black. But it will be quite tricky in the end. And like 9 seconds, although looks pretty stressed. And I'm sure tipau is probably okay in bullet, but well, Onubens and Arca, you can't dirty flag them, but tipau, probably you can dirty flag, but don't know. Historics. Try to dirty flag historics. Yeah, you can't dirty flag Chronotop. If you want to dirty flag Chronotop, you will get dirty flag. Yeah, you will get dirty flag. So after that, the last game, tipau is white, so it's probably game over because tipau is very strong as white and just randomly develop pieces because this position looks pretty good for white. Well, the bishop threatens h3, but the knight invades with the threat of bishop there. Well, if pawn takes, then queen to a4, yeah. So probably not good. Queen to a4. If you go b5, then queen to a6, check, and you lose. So you have to take with the bishop. And after queen to b3, and it still threatens mate, and after queen blocks, this is almost never good since the queen will be threatened. And bishop out, well, otherwise you can't play anything. Like for example, queen to b4, then bishop just takes the winning material and you can't win back. You can only win back just a pawn, so it's just easy win for white. But probably that's the best that you can do. Here the threat is of course bishop to a3, but you can go there and then bishop a3 you can just take it. Then after something like that, you win a pawn, and the rest is just technique, and yeah, and the rest is just technique since white is up material with an easy endgame, and this endgame would be easy since you can't pawnitize. Why? Because if you pawnitize, yeah, white has another pawn, so white is up a pawn. So you can pawnitize, but white is up a pawn, so yeah, so it's lost. Okay, so I think the game started, maybe. GrandLapin versus Kryfyre is ongoing, and starting position, GrandLapin is with white and the normal the normal knight opening, and but black didn't play f6, so white invade with the knight. I'm not sure why black played that opening. That doesn't look good. Um, you might get mated because if you push the f pawn, you might get mated here. Um, I'm not sure what is that move. Well, probably this position is not good for black, but you should still play f6. Then knight to d4, then knight to d4. So probably there probably okay, but you still lose material. c3 c3, otherwise what else? Otherwise you get mated. c3, that's the only move. Yeah, d5, d4. And don't even take the rook since the rook is probably trapped and you can't even play f6. If you play f6, I think, well, black is lost. That's the only conclusion. You can try for something. Yeah, black is just lost. Don't play that. That opening. But this position is probably just good for white. I can actually check that edges or not edges. Analysis is human waste analysis, but it's probably the same. Is this position among the top? I mean, just among the the best positions for white. I think it's probably. Some positions are very bad. Well, this position is okay. Apparently okay for black. Well, you lose pawns. you lose a pawn and a knight. And this position is, yeah, just no compensation. Where is the compensation? I don't see any compensation. So probably there are other defenses. Like if you go there, the defense is probably like d6, d6. If you go d6, then knight there anyway. What's the defense? I don't see the defense. Not sure. Probably still like f6. No, don't know. After that, just defend whatever. e3, e4. Because you can't take. And black takes here. Black takes here. What's the threat? Threat is giving your queen away. Threat is queen to e5 because you can't take. But that's of course defendable by like e5. And e5 opens up the queen for. Wait. Oh, it's black. It's white. White play that. White plays there, then black can black play queen to e5. Let's see, queen to e5. Then queen to e5. What's the problem? Probably just queen moves out, and if queen to e5, what's the defense? That's the problem. A queen, a bishop out, yeah, bishop out. So, yeah, bishop to g5 check. So, well, you move your king, and you can move your king, but then queen moves out. I'm not sure. That's difficult position, but still after that, queen out, then bishop check. Bishop check. You move the king. Oh, I know. Probably you move the king, and after something. After something like b3, is that possible? There? You go queen to c3, but then queen takes queen. Black, white is up material, so white can't do anything, and this is just lost. Just move the bishop controls those squares. It's just lost. Just white can just castle and whatever and push the and move the pawns and yeah. You can simplify the position because you can simplify the position. Here, but white has two bishops, and you just lost. I mean, black is just lost. So GrandLapin is going to win easily. Like just develop all pieces and move the knight out and knight invasion, and you can't stop any of that. King there, trying to go for some tricky things. But well, that bishop you can't move it. You can castle though. If you castle, then yeah, open up the A file. You can take the pawn. You can they just invade with the two bishops, and you resign. Whenever two bishops are near your king, you should just resign since there's nothing you can do. That's also okay. Oh yeah. Yeah, you have to you have to remember that the e7 bishop can't move. So if it's I'm playing, then I will lose a lot of times due to mates. That move, what is that move? Well, it threatens something. Like, like I don't know. There, opening up the position, and you can go like rook to b8, but two bishops are too strong. You can't take the knight though. If you take the knight, then white can't castle, of course. If white castle, it just looks like castle into mate. So. Black is going to flag and lose, and in a losing position. So, bishop to b7, or bishop to d7, like whatever is winning. Yeah, that is most winning because that's mating 2. Yeah. Not mating 2, but mating a few moves, mating 3. Yeah. So mating 3 though. King to b7, rook to a7, king to mating 3. Okay, so rematch. That defense, interesting defense, but it, that's probably why this position is not winning for. But did white play that? Yeah, white played knight to f3, not knight to g3. Did white play knight to g3? Yeah, knight to f3. Why not play knight to f3? I want to know how to defend knight to f3. Knight to g3 is just defended by that, and you can't do anything. You have to trade your knight for the bishop. I want to know what's the defense to knight to f3. I can figure it out by let's just think about it. I won't use engine because I can't use engine yet. Can use engine if I want. Knight to f3. Let's use engine because I can't find the move. Knight to f3. Knight to g6. Knight to g6. Exclaim. What's that defense? Well, I certainly can't find that defense. If knight to g6, then knight to knight to g5, knight to yeah, that would be interesting. But still good for white though. Knight to g6, exclaim. Of course, knight to g3 is just defended by and well, white use almost half of the time. White use half of the time on this move. Why? I think he want to win on the spot. I don't think white can win on the spot. So you can trade the knight for the bishop. You can go knight to h5, bishop to g4, f3, bishop takes h5, and they're all both okay. But whatever you want, you can go either way. Either way is okay for black. And well, you just go there. Yeah. Am I stuck again? I think I'm stuck again. Yeah, I'm stuck again. Terrible. So after something like that's how my computer works. If you see it, that's how my computer works. It always stuck. So there, like e4. What is it doing? And it threatens, of course. It threatens something, like for example, bishop there, then not sure, and you lose a pawn. No, you don't lose a pawn. Well, you have to take, otherwise rook takes e7. So white actually wins the piece and in an interesting position. Black has some compensation, of course. For example, this knight, but white threatens mate, so black defends against mate, and queen out. The threat is queen to there, maybe. You can't take the queen because of rook there, but you can defend against that. Well, like bishop g2 or whatever. Bishop to g5 first, throwing a check, and then like bishop g2. I think this is okay for white. I don't feel that this is winning for black, but there. There I'm not sure. Then probably just just random moves. Probably white is trying to force a queen trade, but you can't force a queen trade. If you trade queens, it's still mate. So probably knight to like f4, and you might resign. However, if knight to f4, queen there, queen to a5 is a problem. queen to a5, b6, queen to a6, queen to queen where? This should be defendable. This is nothing like b6. If you go b6, then queen can go to forcing a queen trade maybe. Is it good to force a queen trade? It must be good. So queen to d5, of course. If b6, then queen to d5. If you don't go to b6, you go a5. That's the same. They are the same. So similar things. Defend against mate. However, after queen to d5, forcing a queen trade, this position doesn't look good for black. I believe queen to d5 is winning for white because white is up material. White is currently up material, and you can castle. If castles, yeah, you can castle. Since the king will end up on like c file, and the rook will end up on the d file, and the rook two rooks are very strong. But you can go like bishop to there. Yeah, you can go bishop out, and white can castle. White queen still can't move. Black queen still can't move, and very interesting position. Can white win more material by just black knight invasions are nothing, of course. White wins another pawn. You can push the pawn. Yeah, I mean push the e pawn. This position should be winning for white. Let's see some techniques from Kryfyre. I think GrandLapin is very good at like tricks and swindles. I think GrandLapin is can still win this. Yeah. And the knight invasion is nothing, of course. Just take the knight with the bishop, of course. And you can go e6, but I mean e5. But it's nothing. So castles. You can go b4, but then c4. So seems not good for black. You can go d5, but then e5. It's okay. Not sure. Can go f4, or you can get flagged. Also good. It will be interesting, like Kryfyre in time trouble. Move, just randomly move. That is not good, since the rook takes rook will always be a threat. I mean rook takes pawn. Yeah, the rook takes rook is is a threat, and you have to defend against that threat, and then rook out, and then you resign. So it's 1-1, and like in those top matches, like being white is good, and probably whoever wins as black first just wins the match. D4 D5. This position looks pretty similar to the normal position. Not really, but quite similar. The bishops slightly misplaced. just normal defenses. Bishop there. Well, bishop there. C4 is possible since you can't play like pawn takes c4, but you can play bishop takes c4 and winning a pawn. So black wins the pawn. You can, well, why do you do that? You can play c4 since pawn takes is not a good move. Because of course bishop to like c6 mate. Don't do that. And you go there, and well, white has some compensation for the queen, of course, but I don't see the compensation. That's too bad. And well, here black has compensation because of bishop to h6. Yeah, bishop to h6. Then you lose. Yeah, just knight. Well, and that's lost because you can't take still. You can't take because of sometimes bishop to h6. But here, well, the bishop h6 is a threat. Well, now bishop h6 is an obvious threat, and you can defend against that. If you don't defend against that, then you lose. So I recommend defending against that. So h6, yeah, and I recommend. But I think some moves ago that bishop h6 is possible. Yeah. I mean, firstly sack the knight, then bishop h6. But is bishop h6 that good? You can move the knight to. You can't move the knight, so bishop h6 is good. Here the center is blocked, and you have that. F4. GrandLapin should try to, well, if I'm playing, I will try to go for some whatever is winning. Like open up the positions. Like don't open up the position. You're down a queen. If you're down a queen, you open up the position, then you lose. So so being down a queen, you should close the position. Like make like your pieces, put all your pieces around your king. Like here, it's very safe. As long as the queen doesn't get to h3. So you should firstly play h3. Then your king is perfectly safe. Yeah, then your king is very safe after h3. Take, yeah. Because there are no threats. And the next move is of course f takes e, and so that's black has a defense against knight f takes e. If f takes e, you can play bishop there. Well, you can defend, or can you? I don't think so. Well, you can defend. It threatens mate, direct mate. So you move the knight, you can't move the knight. You push the bishop, you can't push the bishop. You can do nothing, so you lose. Yeah, black wins. So it's 2-1. Interesting. Kryfyre, I don't think Kryfyre is that good in Atomic 960. So let's see, you can GrandLapin get back into the game. Well, Kryfyre is pretty, like, he improves very fast. He got into 2300 like in no time. So pretty interesting. Well, Because he is good at standard chess. People good at standard chess are pretty good in like those tactic tricks, those tactical tricks. D4. Like normal openings, like because this position is obviously similar to the standard position, so d4 opening up the center, and the center is pretty safe for white. Knight just comes out with some threats like bishop to a3, or just well c3. If bishop to a3, then knight to knight to c3, I resign. So c3. Because well f4 is defended, so c3. You have to defend against c3. Whatever you do, whatever you play, you have to defend against c3. You can play bishop d2 though. Play bishop to d2. That looks pretty ugly. Plays bishop to d2. But you can't. That's an option. Or is my computer stuck again? Well, c3. Knight to g6. Or developing the center. And just push some pawns. You don't need to push all the pawns, like me, but you can push some of the pawns. Like, otherwise, your bishops are pretty trapped. For example, the knight there is pretty strong, of course, and you don't need to trade it off yet. And you can threaten something like knight to e3 is never a threat, even if f3 happens. Knight to f4 is sometimes a threat. So, yeah. Threat is of course bishop to a6, and you have to defend. Well, how do you defend? Don't see a defense. I see a defense. Defense is b4, and b4 knight takes the knight takes. Knight takes is too dangerous. You can try for something like that. If white plays bishop to a3, then you can defend against that. Yeah, bishop to a3 is good enough. Because it currently threatens mate, and you have to defend against the mate. And after winning the knight, white can play like c4. But after winning the knight, the queen is open. d6. Otherwise, the queen doesn't get open. That's not good. Let's see. d6, bishop takes, queen to d5, e4, queen to a5, h5, not good. Queen to g5, queen to g5. Does it threaten mate here? Queen to g5, queen to g4. So not good. And oh no, queen to g4 doesn't threaten mate. So So let's say this again. D6, bishop takes, queen to D5, E4, queen to G4, F4, queen to H4, G3, queen to H3, bishop G2. It seems defended. Let's go the other way. I'm analyzing those very strange lines. Well, the queen gets opened, it must be good. Or is my computer stuck again? No, it's not stuck. And D6, bishop takes, bishop to A6 first, so C4 is forced. Then your queen doesn't get knight there. You don't open up your bishop takes, otherwise you get mated or lose all your pieces. Bishop takes. That's an instant move. Otherwise, what do you do? Bishop takes. You don't have another move. Well, you can't threaten mate. You can't do anything. You can't try to trick black. After that, and threatens, of course, bishop to h3 again. And I suppose b4 defends. C6. But if c6, then I can still play b5. After you play bishop to a6, but I would go for queen to d6 or queen to d7 or queen to d6, similar. The threat is, of course, f4, queen f4. You have to defend against queen to f4, like e3. Let's see, is there a mate? I think there might be some mates. The queen is there, so but it's quite dangerous. Yeah, you might get mated. f3. Or do you like bishop to f3? I don't like bishop to f3 since it's pretty bad. Would bishop h3 be better than bishop g4, or am I missing something? Bishop h3. Yeah, bishop h3, exclaim. But bishop h3, you move the knight. Bishop h3, you move the knight. Move the knight to d2 instead. Then bishop to f1, e3. Your queen is still threatened, and probably, since it invades. Yeah, it did happen because it just you can't stop bishop to h3. and SMH my head, show the board, and SMH. Like the so-called SMH my hands, because it's grammar it's not correct grammar. That's not good. You just lose pieces for nothing. Yeah, just lose pieces for nothing. And so black can win this one, and it will be equal again. Just white is going to time out and lose all white's pieces, so it's losing for white. Yeah, and white is going to lose all the pieces, and queen to a3, and white is of course lost. And there also good. You get mated, and well, it's mate, not mate. It's quite checkmatey, and you get mated or lose all your pieces. This is surely mate. I mean for black. Well, I'm not sure about that. Time scramble. Well, black gets mated. That's not what I expected. What is this? Well now, yeah, GrandLapin got tricked somewhere here. Like that move. Yeah, the queen is exploded, and then after that the check, and yeah, SMH my hand. That's opinions. So Kryfyre is up 3-1 now. GrandLapin should win as white here. Luckily, this position must be good for white. Whenever you see the rook king rook lineup on ABC file, that is good for white, since well, you can't castle into safety here. Is this similar to like a forced mate here? And not forced mate, but forced win. I think this position is pretty good for white. And you should try for some tricks as black. 9-0. Of course, you have to defend. The 2 knights. Two knights. What's the best defense? That Stratton's made, of course. So you just, but that's okay because everything is currently defended. But after bishop to, yeah, after bishop there, bishop to c4. It feels like bishop to c4, but well, e6 is possible. Or there will be interesting, but you can't take the queen since knight to there. Kryfyre is fast, but not that. Yeah, that's just similar to forced mate. This position is pretty good for white. You can play pawn takes, but then bishop 2. It's not mate yet because of knight takes bishop if you go to e6. Firstly, you have to take the knight, otherwise, yeah, white wins, just resigns. Can you take the knight? If you take the knight, then knight to d5, and then knight to like c7 is mate. So if you don't take it, if you play bishop take bishop, then knight takes pawn mate. If you play like knight to there and then knight to d7 is going to be win all your pieces, so you can't do that. So knight to d3 similar, but I can try for some defenses like that g6 move is not good since it opens up the bishop. That's not good. So don't need to play g6. Still play g6. Is g6 even that good though? Because g6 somehow defends against some of the threats. Like if you go to f4, then g6 is good. But you don't need to go to f4 after that. You can go to yeah. G6 is good actually because it defends against some nice threats. Would white transpose to the last game? Let's see. Is white going to transpose into last game? If you transpose into the last game, you don't have to play something like there though. Transposes. You don't have to play something like f5 yet. So you can go for something like not sure. Yeah, there. And after well, everything is defended, so don't have anything. So move orders are very important, and they are g4. What does g4 do? Not sure. I won't play g4 since it seems pretty bad. The strat is probably knight to d5. So e6 or just d5. d5 is bad. So e6. E6, and you open up your bishop. And it's not bad for black. Everything is defended. Yeah, that's also good since it defends against d5 square. But e6 defends against everything, even the bishop to b3, which was not played yet. Opens up the bishop. Still trying for the knight to d5 ideas. Now you have to play d6. There. Similar ideas. Okay. So let's see. Knight to d5, you take with the knight, and And what's the problem? No problem. Knight to b4, knight to b4, then knight to b4 doesn't threaten mate, so because of knight defense, and so you can play anything, as long as you don't leave the c6 square undefended. You just put a pawn there, and losing a pawn is nothing like. You might get into trouble. Yeah, you might get into trouble after knight to c4. Does it work? Knight to c4. Why is he still threatening? This position is just looks so bad for black. Knight to c4. d5. Bishop takes or knight takes. Knight to b5 instead. I'll play like there. Threatens mate, of course. Knight takes, and knight to d5 again, I guess. Otherwise you get mated. Knight to d5 again. Yeah, this is good for black since white has nothing. You have to play bishop takes, or you don't have to play it since the knight is pinned. But you have to play next move after like bishop to b3. You don't have to play it now, but you have to play next move. So still play it now since you have to play it somehow. And why not? Now this doesn't threaten anything, and just defend against everything. And not sure. Can play rook to e1, but now you can't castle kingside yet because the g1 square is not covered. It's now g1 square is there. Yeah. It's now taken by the white bishop, so you can't castle kingside yet. You can move the bishop out and castle kingside. Well, go for a positional game. Bishop to h4, bishop to f2. No time. Black is up on clock, so GrandLapin should try to win this, otherwise he'll be in some kind of trouble. It should be okay and probably winning for GrandLapin, and or just equal, maybe. You can play bishop takes bishop. That is not good. And you might get into trouble though. Is it getting into trouble? Let's see. Well, knight blocks. Always use knight blocks. So what is that? You push the H pawn. What's the problem? Yeah. Rook there. Rook to d8. Queen is trying to invade, but you can't invade. Everything is defended. B5. You can't invade. B5. Or there. Similar idea. You just can't invade. Take with the knight. Rook there. White is down on clock, so white is going to flag white. Flag white. Just move pieces. Randomly move your pieces. Well, don't random move pieces. You might get into trouble though, because you can't stop it yet. Your queen with check. You can, yeah, it just flags. And although this position is not that good for black, and black is up a queen, but that queen is currently nothing. So you can still play like bishop takes b6. If you go bishop takes b6, then you might get something. Now it's equal again. Flags are very interesting. Now I don't know. And this position just looks like it's a win for white. Those two bishops against that king, that's no good. This is a forced win for white though. Nothing is a forced win for white, because nothing is forced win for white. Normal third rank defense, and the bishop opens up. E5 or f6. F6 looks more normal, but yeah, e5. Knight to e4. Hoping for or that. Just open up the position, and this should be good for white, but black is probably also fine here. If queen to h4, h3, queen to d4, queen f3, no, just f3. Queen to h4, f3, queen to f4. Does that work? Yeah, queen to f4 is covered. Interesting. Queen to f4 is covered by bishop takes pawn. So I would go for something like knight there. Just lose a lose a pawn. I would go for, you don't even need to take it. You just go for knight to f5 to h6 and then you resign. No, knight to h5, knight to f5, knight to f4. Then bishop takes, actually exploding your knight. That's the problem. So knight to, should go knight to h5. No, knight to h5 is not good, obviously. Knight to f5 does cover queen to h4, but it allows queen to knight to f4. Knight to f4, you push the pawn. You push the pawn, then check there, check. There you take the knight. Not sure. It would be interesting, but not sure. The idea is, of course, if you knight takes f4 or pawn takes f4 is of course hanging mate. Knight takes rook to f1, is that a strat? I think that's pretty bad for black since, yeah, there, that can't be good. Take castles. Interesting. Not seeing anything. And currently black is up a pawn. And the compensation is not clear. Because you currently cannot play pawn takes pawn, of course. You can however go queen to king to h1, king to h8. Then your bishop is eyeing on the e pawn and trying for something. So d4 first. Yeah, d4 first. Or that similar idea. Take the pawn just. That. What if? I don't know. I don't know about this game because I don't know about it. Opens up the bishop. Push the pawn, then go there. Then the threat is queen to b3. Bishop to d5. Bishop to d5. Bishop takes. Queen takes. Does bishop to d5 work? You can go, well, queen to, no. If, there, similar idea. Because the bishop is currently defending against that important square. Now white has a threat of bishop to b5. Queen to g5. First, you can't take the queen, but you can firstly escape with your queen, like queen to b1, and there are no threats, so queen to b1, bishop takes, but then pawn takes, queen's there, takes. What's the material situation here? If bishop takes a2, bishop takes, yeah. Here, what's the material situation? Black is up a pawn? Black is somehow up a pawn. Try to flag, but White flag. I'm not sure about this position. Probably it's okay for white because black sacrificed the rook. Don't know. So white flag. It will be interesting. And Kryfyre is now having a critical lead, 4-3. So GrandLapin has to win with black. It will be interesting though. This position looks pretty winning for white, but it's actually not that winning for white. So c4, that looks like first the threat is made, but e5, what else? Knight to h4, but knight to h4 has made, so you can't go knight to h4. Knight to h4 looks good, but it's not good. You can currently play. You can play h6 threatening h4, but then you can defend against h4. Here, you try to use some queen invasions, but then you lose your queen invasion, so you don't have a queen invasion. H5 exclamation. And so h4, what else? If h4, you might get knight takes h4. Sure about this position. This will be interesting. Well, a few moves ago the threat is made, so actually you have to play that. And although you can play f3 though. F3 blocking the white queen. Is this losing for white? Or am I stuck again? H4. Just go h4 because it obviously has some winning attack. H4, h3, is that winning though? H4, h3, h takes g, queen g4. White is going to get flagged though. Queen there. You can sack your knight, but don't need to sack your knight. It blocks seeing the black queen, but the black queen can obviously go to there. I mean go to d7 too. But if you go d7 then h3. Oh, that's why h4 is not good. But h4, h3 is still defended after h4. h3. Defending against all the threats. Push all the pawns instead. Black has over a minute. That's pretty. I mean, a time advantage. That's pretty good. e4, push all the pawns. a5, achieving that. That looks interesting, but it isn't threatening anything, and it's possibly just if you try to open up the center, then you get pushed. There. Threatening, of course, b4, and you can't defend against b4 even. But currently b4 is nothing yet, and b4 is nothing yet, but c takes d5 is a thing, so you should play like, well, move your king. Move your king first, and like to f8. King f8. The thing is, after king f8, yeah, white doesn't have a threat. And white is going to flag, so that's pretty good for black. Knight to f4, just. But knight to f4 runs into, yeah, queen there. That's better. So c5. Threatening something. threatening pawn takes on d5. Knight to f5. g6. You might get into trouble after g takes f. So d takes e, is that the thing? No, that's not the thing, but you can get there. So white actually wins because the rook is opened up. And so actually this bishop is, I didn't even see that bishop. Yeah, it's a problem. So Kryfyre actually beats GrandLapin 5-3, which is pretty interesting, and it's probably one of the biggest upsets up to now. And I like upsets, so it will be interesting, and we will be talking about those, especially like the second to last game, that dirty flag. Is that even a draw or a win for white? No, not a win for white, because these pawns are pretty strong. You can go for rook to c1, like rook to c1 after you can't take, of course. You can move the king, and after you can move the other rook to c1. Yeah, that probably is winning for black, but you have to somehow, if you want to draw, you have to somehow play like king to h2, but you have to somehow get your rooks out for a perpetual check, and then that's a draw. So it's probably still winning for black. So that will be interesting. This is a match, and hopefully you enjoy it. And now let's finally look at how the bracket looks like. And so I think round 1 almost finished. The Shah and the Kedar haven't played yet, and iLead and Kieran M haven't played yet, and all other matches are played or forfeited. All New Bands versus Stephanie, Astava Kra versus LECW. All New Bands can probably win. Astava Kra, I'm again not very sure about this. I think LECW is probably better, but not sure. Historics versus Mathwiz. I'm a Historics fan, but Mathwiz might win. Not sure. Opabinia versus Pudding Burn. Opabinia is probably can win. Vlad versus these two. Vlad can probably win. Nice versus Chronotalk. Chronotalk can probably win, but Nice is also pretty strong. Tipau versus Tipau actually beat RoyalManiac, as I said earlier in the video, and 5-0. That's pretty strong. And he'll going to face Calm Waters, who beat Clearcast, I think it's yesterday. And Calm Waters is also known as Highest Cliff, but that account is closed. Arca versus Variant Bunny. I would say Arca will win, but as you can see, Arca lost one game to standard deviation, so If Arca is playing like in his best shape, Arca will win. But if Arca is playing like the first round match, not sure. Chais versus ACS. ACS already won, and Katask versus me, and I already lost. Lesha versus Kedar. Lesha probably win, and versus NameLag. Lisha is pretty strong, so probably he can beat NameLag. Fast Tsunami versus Legend Destroyer. Fast Tsunami can win, and Crepuscular versus Have Fun Reading This. They're pretty close. Well, they actually also played in the ACL, and not sure. GrandLapin versus Luca. GrandLapin won, and Xanify versus Mihail. Oh, this is actually round 3, so we're going into round 4. Yeah, so Kryfyre actually is the first one who went into this round. It's round 4 or round 5 in this bracket, and Xanify beat Mihail. Xanify is just a Kryfyre, and congratulations to Kryfyre, who is a title player and of course very strong in those tactics and flagging. So Kryfyre is going to face these players. I'm actually very not sure about how he can do against Fast Tsunami, so probably he can even beat them. So that's this. And as you know, Ayubar is also streaming this, and his commentary is probably better. My commentaries are full of ants and whales and very, very strange words. So that's because sometimes I don't know what to say. Everyone, hopefully you have all finished your homeworks. I'm not teacher. And hopefully you can enjoy life and enjoy atomic chess, and good luck everyone. Although I'm eliminated, but I hope everyone can play the best in this tournament, and see you in the next video, which I will probably talk about. Let's see what other matches are scheduled. Probably you can find it in on the Lichess forum. For example, tomorrow there is Opabinia versus Pudding Burn, and sometimes, well, Xanify already won a match and said in the forum. So LECW versus Stavakra will be played on February the 2nd, and Onubens will play on February the 3rd. The next round should be due in the next week, so they will probably start scheduling in the next week. So, but some matches have already been played, so not sure. And some opponents are not confirmed yet, so you can keep track of this tournament by seeing at the forum and also joining the house Discord. You can search the house Discord on Lichess and find the link. Is this some kind of advertising? But it's a good server. Well, you can search like on Lichess team. You can find team Like, I'm not even in their house because this account was a troll account. But now it's my only account. So the house Discord server. Oh yeah, you can't search Z because that is probably, yeah. Let's join the team, and you can find the links. Where are the links? Yeah, I think you can find the link on here, the house Discord, and join our Discord server. You can copy this link and join. It's permanent, so you can always join. And it will be interesting. There are many like interesting things happening there, but don't go into some other channels. Some other channels might be quite confusing. But the atomic channel is basically the spam channel. You can spam anything here. Okay, so hopefully you are enjoying your life, and again, goodbye.